Hello traders, welcome to today's Bitcoin and cryptocurrency video. I just wanted to do a very quick update basically just on the move that we're currently having. The areas of resistance that I'm looking at, which are two main areas of resistance right now after we've broken through that 4-hour OB. And yeah, where I just think that we could be heading over the next coming days or so. We will of course go over a couple of trades that we have taken over the past few days. Of course we did mention some of these within the live stream last night, but yeah, just a very brief video just to update on this move and where we could see it going next. So we're going to just start off here, 4-hour time frame. Okay, this is really what this move has been running off, is the 4-hour chart's been really nice. Okay, so we can go back to the very start of the move. We had that move down, which finally came into that point of control, that monthly level. That was the area in which we were looking to take the long positions. And of course, I am still in the long position from there. If I do just bring up on here, this is the long position that is at 38,777, remaining in that long for now. And just still not really touching that. I've been taking a couple of scalp trades against this one just as a hedge, of course, as we did come into the 4-hour OB, and then again just recently here just to basically offset the long exposure and see if there's a little bit more profit that can be kind of eaten out of this, as we are seeing this is like, yeah, this is a swing trade. So everything in between, it's just kind of helps with the profit, I guess, from this. So yeah, we did of course have that move, and so far we've come through the main kind of regions of resistance that we were really looking at on this. I mean, the first major target for this was to break market structure. Okay, so price came in, broke that market structure earlier, and then what did we have yesterday was, we're just going to open this up on here, is we did have this 4-hour OB. So the 4-hour OB, which was basically here, and your daily level. So if we do go into a little bit of a lower time frame, we did get that rejection off of the 4-hour OB and the daily level. That was a nice short position. It gave us a 3% move to the downside, which is very good. And if we do go in even lower on a time frame onto this, and we do have a look at the actual price action that we got, we did end up having that SFP of the highs. So we had that one stab into it, we took out the high again, and then at the point of the breakdown was right on that New York open, as New York opened here at 2:30 p.m. UK time. And that initiated a nice 3% move to the downside. This coincidentally was exactly the same time that SPX had a gap fill above. It came and hit that gap and immediately retraced. So a nice rejection, kind of what you would expect from something like a 4-hour OB. A 3% move is pretty decent. You came down, of course, took out these lows. We had another daily level that was down here. Okay, we can just throw them on the chart. They're not there, never mind. But we did have another daily level that was down here. We did of course come into this other order block region, and we filled in the little bit of an inefficiency that had been left on this move up around here. So a decent move down. And then, of course, what happened overnight is we did start to float back up, back in towards these highs. Now, I did take a short position earlier on today, and this was a very quick in and out. I didn't actually make profit on it. So full disclosure, didn't actually make profit on it. I had to hit take profit one, then got stopped out above the high, and they basically evened each other out. So it's just one of those trades that was low risk enough to take. Was able to take profit one, and in hindsight, probably should have just moved my stop loss down to break even at that point, just to make sure I can bank that. But yeah, we had that breakthrough, stopped out that trade as it came through and took the highs, and now we're looking up towards the next resistance here. So basically, what I was looking at earlier was, okay, this is a pretty key level that we have on the chart here. So we did have, we'll just throw back on this. Okay, so what we can see today is our daily open. We came in, we had that quick reclaim of daily open, and we came into this region up here, which was filling in the inefficiencies, the single prints that we had formed on the move down from yesterday. Okay, so you come back in, you fill that little region within the chart, and also you're reaching up towards your upper fib levels here. So although I do really like the golden pocket region, if you are to throw on those higher targets, which is the 786.283 and even the 886, and this is the point in which I was entering on here, the 886, I did manage to get an entry just below 42k, so it was at 41,995. I think the short position on here that I was able to take. And then of course, as price comes back down, you've got to be very aware. Okay, this has been resistance. Okay, resistance, it flipped, turned into resistance, resistance, resistance. You break through it. It backtests it this time as support. Okay, what it failed to do yesterday was to backtest this as support. It managed to do that on this occasion, so it was a very clear take profit that should have been taken at this point. And then what happens if you don't take profit? You just get stopped out, and that's what happened to me on this one. So that was like one of those, realistically never really had much chance of coming down to hit the target. The reason for that as well, if I do just bring up the internet once again over here. So of course we are still in a region of negative funding. I know we're kind of turning positive at this point, but we did have negative funding across the board. We do of course have fear and greed index all the way down here at 27. Open interest hasn't really been doing anything. We've just been sat at that 13.2 billion region for quite some time, and realistically, yeah, it's not looking as though people are starting to get greedy and starting to FOMO into long positions at this point. I do think we can continue to go higher. You're not really seeing such a short squeeze, but it is just continuous momentum from the bulls on this move. So where does that bring us now? Okay, so we have of course broken through that. I am no longer in the short position. I'm just holding that long from 38.777, and still not taking profit. So still not really acted on this. There has been other opportunities for scalp shorts again. I am happy to scalp against the trend, and we are now coming into this daily naked point of control. And in addition to that, okay, so we do have the daily NPOC there, and if we do go on to our daily chart just here, what do we have up there? It is from a 4-hour block yesterday. We do now have this daily OB that is here today. So we do have another daily level. We keep coming through all of these daily levels at the moment. We keep like tapping into them. So we do of course have this daily level that is just above, which I would expect, again, it is resistance. So it's another one of those that, like the 4-hour OB yesterday, you could probably expect a 1-2% move. We'll see how it goes. And as long as you can maintain structure at that point, with basically, you want to be maintaining above these highs, so above this like 41,500 region. So as long as it can maintain above there, I still think that further continuation up towards these higher levels, which again I'll just cover in a second, is fairly likely. So we're just kind of stepping up, holding that short, holding that long position, and trading against that as those like little day trade, scalp trade longs. If we are to see a bigger rejection, and it is possible, okay, you do have a naked point of control here, you do have a daily level. We did see a 3% rejection off of a 4-hour time frame yesterday. We're now coming into something a little bit bigger, potentially, so we could see that as a bigger rejection. And realistically, for me, it is that 40,400 region. This isn't really showing on here. Let's just bring it down to this one. This is where you do have, of course, the start of the single prints from the day that we did break out. So I would be looking for, if we are to see this start to roll over, start to get caught back within this area, that ultimately is still an area of interest for me. Would be, I would like to see price dip into this, not too deep. Otherwise, you do bring about much lower targets, but not too deep. A quick take out of these lows, and just see if at that point that can start to get a bounce back into kind of forming a range here, because there are a lot of stops that could be taken. Okay, so if this does start to reverse, as we saw yesterday, the move down can be fairly quick and fairly violent. So do be aware that, again, another area of resistance coming up, and it would certainly make sense, because unless you're in a long position, you don't really want to be buying up here. It would certainly make sense to be looking for those shorts. However, let's just take things up onto the final level of resistance that is like the main one that I'm looking for at the moment, because realistically, we're in an area of fairly low volume. If we're taking this whole kind of consolidation region into whatever into account, and we are coming back up into another high volume node here. So again, that 4-hour OB from yesterday was a high volume node that had historically, you had some highs and some support and resistance levels around this region quite a lot within this whole kind of big range that we've been in recently. So that was a reasonable point in which to get that rejection off of this high volume node and the other confluence we had there. Now we're coming through an area of a little bit less volume, And ultimately, it is this region between that 43,500 to 44k that I am looking at, and the confluence that we have between that region. Another daily level. Okay, so there is another daily level. You would also be taking out these highs, which is a pretty clear pivot on here. So of course, realistically, your lower highs are like here, 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 here. We've broken through, we've changed market structure clearly, but the next area in which there is liquidity would be just at this daily level here, which it never actually tapped previously. So if we can come up to here, take out this high, what you're basically doing is you're hitting liquidity and immediately coming into an OB. So it would be fairly strong at that point. You're taking liquidity into volume, into resistance. So it would increase that likelihood that we could see a rejection from there. Again, probably bringing us back down to some kind of support levels, and then we'll look from that. In addition to that, we do, of course, have the value area high. So I can just remove this from here. You can see as a whole range, having hit the POC already, would it not make sense to come up towards the value area high here? Now, of course, this could move by the time we get there. We might end up, that value area might end up kind of tightening in as price does build some more volume within this region. That's always possible. So we could find ourselves around this area, hitting into volume, taking liquidity, having your value area high, and also back in this, basically this triangle pattern that had been previously made. So you do have quite a lot of confluence all coming in between that 43,500 to 44k region. So that really is the main area that I am looking at right now. For my swing long position, that is where I would probably greatly reduce exposure on that and be looking for more potential swing shorts that could, I mean, if you do get stopped out here and you start coming all the way down, then it really could bring about some like much lower prices. But for now, still bullish. We are still trending up on the day and on the week, and I do think as a point of control monthly level, we went from a 10% bounce yesterday. We're probably up towards like 12%. It's pretty reasonable. It's kind of what you would expect to get from a trade of this nature. And if you do come up into that 12-13%, it's not a huge move, and it is still within the range, but it's kind of what you'd expect to see. So we're still neutral on the charts. We're looking for short positions intraday, but still maintaining that long position that we are in from, of course, all the way down here when most of the market was super bearish and still is super bearish. So yeah, not really going to go over anything else on Bitcoin here. I don't really think I want to cover altcoins either. Of course, Ethereum is slightly lagging behind. Okay, so this is still caught in that 4-hour OB region, whereas Bitcoin is starting to just to push through this region. We'll see what Ethereum can do, if it can play catch up, if Bitcoin starts to form a range here. But of course, it is slightly down on the day. Not much to update then on that one. Of course, yesterday, as we did get that move down off that initial rejection, it did hit the POC of the local range and has led back up to higher prices. So let's see what can happen here. Still resistance for now, and this anchored VWAP would also be a pretty clear resistance. And then if we do start to break through that, then of course you're looking up basically. If Bitcoin can come into that 44k region, I do think that Ethereum has a good chance of coming into that 3,315 to 3,350 level within this region up here, like taking out these highs. And again, similar to Bitcoin, you're taking out the highs and you're coming into an order block up here. So highs taken into volume, resistance, right? Luna, nice bounce continuing. Okay, so it did flip through this anchored VWAP again, and once again, 4-hour OB within that region, and it is breaking through, very similar to what Bitcoin has done. Next targets realistically for this, I haven't really got on my chart, so I'm still holding that short. That short from the highs, I'm not really going to do anything about that, but we can just pull a little fib from here and just have a quick look. I mean, immediately next kind of region, it does look like this. Okay, so this was a previous all-time high. It has been chopped around as an SR level quite a lot recently, and it's a golden pocket here. So I think that $100 psychological. Okay, so $100 is going to be pretty big. And then if we do break through that, then you're looking at towards that 104 there. So yeah, Luna still looking like it's got a little bit left in the tank to continue a bit higher as well. Ooh. Finally, is there anything that's really moving right now? I did cover the ape trade. So ape trade from yesterday, which has had a nice move down again after 1, 2, 3 pushes up into the highs here. So of course we do have ultimate targets for this of around that $18.50 region if this can get some continuation. But we did have like put in a high, SFP, rejection, taking out your lows, and at this point you are back at this, basically the low of the range, acting as resistance here. So something else to be aware of. Okay, so we are looking at potentially being trapped back within back underneath this high. So this being a higher time frame, you like deviate from the range, you come back in, you get trapped within it, and then you can be looking at much deeper retraces, where realistically your support is looking down here around $13. Could that be where it gets some support, forms a range, and then we go to that eventual target of $18.50 later on? We'll have to wait and see. Other than that, not been trading so many other alts. ADA, again, I'm in a position on ADA, but there's not really anything to cover on this. And yeah, other stuff, not doing much. Not doing much, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, please do go check out tauruscrypto.com. So here is tauruscrypto.com. Do go and check it out. You can join our free Discord community on here. If you would like to trade on Bybit, which is the exchange that we still use, then you can get 10% off of fees. There is a banner up at the top here that will give you those. And of course, scroll down. There's also more information here. So if you want more information about the Discord community, if you want some information about the Taurus crew, you can click on here. So this is our educational service, and then there are other partnerships down the bottom. So yep, please do check out the website. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Have a great day, and yeah, happy trading. See you. Bye.